Good morning. Part 2. Okay, so that's the entrance into the front gate. Front gate is there. And around here is the residence. So we've got 1 and then 2 and then 3 residents. And that little Besser block or brick area there is what they call the CR comfort room toilet block, and that block there supplies that house, and that house. So all 3 of those, as you can see, and it's surrounded by coconut palms, and there's stuff everywhere because there used to be a house here and there was a flood or hurricane that came through. This is another property. This is not the original, and apparently this is for sale. It's very narrow, as you can see, but quite long, all the way through to here, and then bushland. This is, I'm not entirely sure, but more or less an island, because there's a big creek river on that side, and there's another one which is a larger one on that side. So this is a bit of an island, and it is low level, and it is subject to flooding. However, I believe the last time this flooded was 2010, so it doesn't happen often. I think there needs to be a fair significant amount of rain for these creeks to rise up to a flooding, and yet there is heaps and heaps of people here. So we'll go out here and we'll have a look at the street. And I was saying before that you just have to walk outside the front gate, and this is where all the shops are. So that's through here. And we've got all the shops. All the shops, and that little shop down there is quite a remarkable shop. All the little stores. This one here is a bakery. It's not open yet, so they cook it somewhere else and bring it here, and this is where they sell. And so this is the entire street. Down around the corner there is a corner store, and this is where they have a little bit of a wet market at the corner store down here. You just see on the other side of that truck, there it is on the corner, and none of the wet market is there yet. That all comes out later. It is now approximately, or not quite 10 o'clock here, and some of the shops still haven't opened yet. So everything kind of starts late, and the shops stay open till late, about 6 or 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And most of them are out front of houses, what they call the sorry store. Sorry store is just a little mum and dad market. That's a perfect example of a sorry store there, and another one there. That one there is pre-cooked meals, already cooked, and you just take away, or I think you can even eat in there. So back in through here, through the little hole, and the entrance to the houses. There we go. So that's one. And down through here, I have to duck everywhere because I'm not 5 foot tall, so everything is not made for me. There's 2, and that's the back half of the air conditioner we fitted. And in through here, and here is the CR room. Turn the light on, there's light. So this is the CR, and this is the scooper that you use to flush that with, and you also use the scooper to shower. So it's just a wet floor, a little bit of a drain there, and a light, this little light here, and that's it. So no shower, you just use the scooper, and no hot water unless you put another bucket there and put some boiling water into it and then top it up with normal water to get it to the right temperature, and you just scoop that over the top. And there is also a lacking of paper, toilet paper, so you just use the scooper again, and it's like a little bit of a bidet somehow. Use your own imagination of how you do, and wash your hands afterwards. So very basic, but this is the CR, the toilet block. Oops, there we go. And out here, and that's pretty standard. That's where people do laundry too. Just sit in there somewhere and just wash the laundry. And this is the remainder of the yard. So a lot of this stuff of timber work and things is all due to the old house that used to be here. As you can see, the bits and pieces, it's slowly disappearing. Every now and again they get a bit excited and do a bit of a clean up, and even just use the timber for other things. So once again we see the top of this house, how it looks. So yes, this is reasonably typical. This is definitely not low class, certainly not middle or high. It's kind of in between low and middle. There really isn't a middle class in Philippines from what I understand. It's either you're at this level or you've got lots of money, and there really isn't such a thing as middle class. And even people who are upper class still kind of live the same thing. It's very, very small. So this particular house, the 2-bedroom that I shot before, is 3,000 pesos a month, which is equivalent to 150 Australian dollars per month, and that includes water and electricity. So basically, what's that, about $75 a week, which is not cheap considering what it is and the income level. So rent here versus the actual income level is quite high even for this. And this is probably the cheapest that you'll get, or the cheaper that you'll get, considering it is in a flood zone area and the condition of the buildings and that sort of thing. So anyway, this is the other half. We'll do a shop walk up the street a bit later and do number 3. So, and heaps of coconuts. There's coconuts and other plants everywhere.